The date is June 21st, 2014. My dad, brother, and I have taken a trip to see Train Expo 2014 in Owosso, Michigan. Here we see Lehigh Valley Coal Company number 128 and Visco Company number 6 coupling up to an excursion headed up on the Saginaw to Owosso route. There are lots of steam locomotives here at this event. Flag Coal Company number 75 brushes past, doing some excursions with some passengers learning how to drive a steam locomotive.
Over here.
Also here are Little River Railroad number 1, Central Pacific 63, better known as the Leviathan, and Little River Railroad 110.
No, wait a minute.
I like to call it the world's smallest Pacific type steam locomotive in the world because this is really the world's smallest Pacific type steam locomotive I ever seen. Here we see Hank 2 and an Ann Arbor caboose from the Wabash Annie on the turntable. This turntable is used to turn around Pere Marquette 1225 each time it does an excursion trip.
They were at the Traverse City Cherry Festival a number of times.
There are also 1/8 scale steam locomotives here at this train expo. They're really fun to ride. I didn't get to ride one, but oh well. Up in the air, parachuters are jumping out of planes and flying down towards the rail yard, doing cool moves in the air, such as this, and whatever they do next, with the flags. NKP 765 and Pere Marquette 1225 are by far the biggest steam locomotives at this event. This locomotive here is Jonesboro, Lake City, and Eastern number 76, currently under restoration. As soon as the Saginaw to Owosso train gets back, engine number 110 will be taking over for the next trip. There's also lots of planes flying around due to the fact there's an air show also going on. Soon the Saginaw to Owosso train came back, and I got a very good shot of the train pulling in. And of course, it did stop for the pedestrians on the railroad tracks, but still it was a good shot. As soon as the Saginaw to Owosso train stopped at the platform, my dad, brother, and I went up the tracks to get a better shot of Pere Marquette 1225 pulling in with the Owosso to Alma train heading into Owosso. Listen to Pere Marquette 1225's near replica of an N&W J-Class steam whistle as it comes to Owosso. The Iowa Pacific passenger car and the Empire Builder passenger car are both from the San Luis and Rio Grande out in Colorado. Pennsylvania RPCX 101 is owned by the Orville Railroad Historical Society in Orville, Ohio. The Wheeling and Lake Erie coach that just came up right now is also owned by the Orville Railroad Historical Society. The Seaboard Coastline, number 106, and the Atlantic Coastline, number 104, the city of Orville, are both owned by the Orville Railroad Historical Society. The final car on this train, the New York Central 102, is also owned by the Orville Railroad Historical Society. Pere Marquette 1225 is a near replica of the Nickel Plate Road 765, but Pere Marquette 1225 is classified as an N1 Berkshire for the Pere Marquette Railroad, while Nickel Plate Road 765 is classified as an S2. The Pere Marquette Railroad purchased 39 N1 class Berkshires from 1937 to 1944. Even though 39 were built, only 2 survived, PM 1225 and PM 1223. Then they put it on Nickel Plate Road 765 to do the afternoon trip from Owosso to Alma. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it at least until we reached Alma. Here it is on the Y they have in Alma, Michigan. The Nickel Plate Road purchased 65 S2 Berks from the Lima Locomotive Works and 15 from Alco between 1934 and 1949. Out of the 80 S2 Berks that were built for the railroad, only 5 survived. NKP 757, NKP 759, NKP 763, NKP 755, and NKP 765 are the survivors. NKP 779 is actually an S3 Berk. As soon as NKP 765 connected to the passenger train, it was time for it to depart. The Great Lakes Central, who owns this section of track, was gracious enough to lend one of their executive cars onto the excursion train. The Paul Revere, which is passing us right now, is also owned by the Orville Railroad Historical Society. The blue with yellow stripes coach coming up is owned by the Steam Railroading Institute. As soon as the train left, we quickly hopped in the car to chase it all the way to Ithaca, Michigan. We caught it as it was doing a photo run-by for the passengers. Then we drove down the road until we reached North Star, Michigan, where we caught Nickel Plate Road 765 again. The dark brown with black roof coach car that ran by, I have no idea who owns that coach car. We managed to get to Ashley, Michigan just in time to see NKP 765 rush past us. Well, actually more start to pull in. The Great Lakes Central Road has a yard here in Ashley, albeit a small one here at best. As soon as NKP 765 started back up out of Ashley, we quickly went to Roosevelt and Ransom roads where they crossed over to catch it there. I've sort of forgotten where this next shot was taken, so here's the next shot. This next shot that's coming up is at Smith's Crossing, Michigan, just outside of Owosso. The last shot I took of this train was in Owosso, Michigan, when NKP 765 was pulling right in. As soon as the train stopped, we went back to the main Train Expo to see the Steam Railroading Institute's building. Inside was the Detroit Lego Train Club. They had a massive display of Lego trains running around everywhere.
And then after that, we'll go for lunch.
SpongeBob and Patrick too.
And if you made enough money, you can go
SpongeBob and Patrick again.
to help do stuff like that. It's too close to
Something that wasn't me that said anything about me.
It's right twice a day.
Can you put a microphone?
Could you get one of those? You have to gear it to where we're probably going to like. Some people talk about well, some people put actual plot.
The best idea in the world.
I think it is.
Soon we went outside to see all the equipment they had out here before the expo closed. They were getting ready to put 1225 up for the night in the sheds, but I think all the tank engines took up all the sheds areas up. Next to 1225 was Little River Railroad number 110. The Leviathan was here to help sponsor the Lincoln funeral train that was being planned for next year. I don't know if they'll do it though, but I hope they really do. Then NKP 765 was detached from the passenger train and was headed over to the sheds. As soon as the Train Expo closed for the night, my dad, brother, and I realized we were near a railroad hotspot, Durand, Michigan. So we decided to check that out before leaving the area. Durand, Michigan sees 40 freight trains per day by the Canadian National Railway, 2 daily passenger trains from Amtrak, and 1 train from the Huron and Eastern Railroad. Even though the Durand Depot is an Amtrak stop, it also has a railroad museum housed inside it too. Unfortunately, it was closed at the time when we came. Unfortunately, there are no other trains coming towards the Durand Union Station other than a late Amtrak train which was supposed to come at 10 o'clock. So we went over to the park to see Grand Trunk Western 5632. The Grand Trunk Western was one of those railroads who kept their steam locomotives on at least till the 60s, along with the Norfolk and Western Railway.
Had 3 dates on it. 18.
We decided to end the day here and try to find a hotel to go home the rest of the day tomorrow. Hope you liked this video. See you later.